Check. Hello, plebs. Welcome to the party. We are back after a 26-hour break. So much has happened. We needed to get right on before anything else. We took precedent. The Mother's Day, my ex-wife is telling me it's Mother's Day for her, even though all she does is talk to the goddamn dogs like they're children. And I have had it. I am so tired. You know, let's get this light going. Son of a bitch. I had my grandson doing all of this for me, and then he left to go to a Juice World concert or a something. Juice World? Who's Juice World? Do you know Juice World? Is he alive? It's all just falling apart for the establishment, folks. If you haven't been looking at the news recently, we are really taking a lot of hits. We're going to hit them all. Now I just need to get my Zyn. Oh, I got it. It's in my pocket. Here we are. Welcome back. Democrat consultant Connie live talking about the news with you, the people, the plebs. We love you all. We're going to get going on Instagram too, I think. Let's do this thing like a chicken wing. Oh, how's everybody doing? That's tiring. I know. It's hard to be me. It's hard to be Connie. It is hard to be me. It's hard to be this talented all the time, you know? There's just really nothing I can do about it. I am just a dynamo. I have to work 7 days a week because if there's anybody who is going to undermine an election, it's this guy right here. Perfect. Let's see here. Good. We're set up. We are set up. Sorry for the delay. We're here. We're paying attention to you. If anybody has any news stories that they want us to cover from the week, if you could please let me know. I want to make sure that we touch on all of the things that the consulting class wants to talk about. None of the things that the voters like. You know, it's one thing to oh God, my mother's texting me. She's 169. I think we might have a couple people jump on stream. All right, we're here. You know, yesterday I had a video about what we're going to be doing to protect the world from the gerrymanders. There is a lot that goes into there's a lot that goes into protecting democracy. We don't really do it, but I've heard good things, you know? I've heard good things about protecting democracy. It's not something that we like to do, but, you know, we try. Oh, good. Look, these Gaza activists have been freed. Love to see it. Come on, man. We care about the First Amendment. Oh, here we go. We have some guy freaking out. He's freaking hysterical about midterms. Let's see what this guy, Chris Valenti. He's an Iran, he's a pro-Iran guy. Whoa. Okay, we're gonna go watch the interview. That was like the easiest direction we've ever got. We're gonna watch this interview with Cheryl Atkinson and Donald Trump. Thank you to that piece of crap, Chris Valenti, Donald Trump, Cheryl Atkinson. Let's see here. Here we go. 7 hours ago, full interview. Iran government and the midterms. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna try and find. Where's the midterms? I don't care about the rest of this shit. He looks so bad. Can we just say that this guy looks horrible? Why is it not sharing? Oh, I have to share the tab. Sorry, guys and gals. Oh, Robbie, Professor Brainrot. Hello.
Hello.
Are you on the stage? Hang on a second.
Can you see and hear me all right?
All right. How are you doing, Robbie?
I'm doing okay. I have my intern here, my trusty feline research assistant. As you are very aware, cats have a pivotal role in brain rot studies.
I hate animals.
All animals or just cats?
I hate any animal that can I don't like affection. I don't like affection at all. It is really a scary thing for me.
That is
Intimacy,
something your third wife mentioned to me, so that
Yeah.
tracks.
yeah, I don't like it if I can avoid it. I'm gonna try. Apparently, there's some kind of interview here with Blue. Thank you for the shout out about the sound. We got the whole consultant class here today. Professor Brainrot, is there anything on the internet, Mimi, kind of niche brain rot shit that you want to bring to our attention that you'd like to discuss that I can pull up here on my screen?
We've got something that came across my desk this morning. You might be interested in it. I know you love weighing in on intra-racial discourse. Right now, there's a huge ABG versus NHS San Francisco tech startup discourse cycle going on where someone who's very close to Sam Altman, big fan of his chat GPT, did an ABG meetup. I don't know if you're familiar with the term.
What's ABG? What's that?
For
I have
those
no
who
idea.
don't know, ABG stands for Asian Baby Girl, and
Okay.
it's a very, very racialized term because it is from SoCal and the Bay Area. It's also originally etymologically from Asian baby gangster. So in the 80s, 90s, when there was this big influx of Vietnamese refugees, immigrants for no particular reason, there was a huge subculture, kind of like Gyaru for the Japanese fans out there. And this like kind of streetwear, hip hop music, but also like heavily influenced by the subcultures, they have now been co-opted by LinkedIn networkers who are having a happy hour in someone's, $3,000 apartment and saying, all right, these 12 people, 5 of whom are white guys, are part of the ABG and ABB club.
What the hell? This is the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm trying to find like the it's ABG.
Let me see if I can find a link for you.
Yeah, I want to see the so ABG LinkedIn. So there are happy hours in the Bay Area. LinkedIn happy hour. I want to see what the hell is going on. So this is a Sam Altman thing?
If you can believe it, Sam Altman does tie back into this.
What the hell?
Let
How
me
does Sam Altman tie into this?
Let me see if I can find her. There we go.
Thank you for tuning in, Blue. We appreciate it.
We have the original offender and one of her interviews with Sam Altman. This is one of the hosts. There's a couple hosts in a classic startup in the Bay where it's like, do you not have any friends? Do you want to meet other friends that you can network with? Come to one of our parties. They throw a party, and let me see if I can find the original photo. Wait.
Yeah, send me this. I want to show this on the screen. So this is like a whole. I really liked Sam Altman when I met him. His handshake was a little bit long, and his eye contact was a little bit creepy. He kept when he grabbed my hand, it was kind of like one of these moves here, where he went like this. What's up, B Money? W.
I think you were supposed to meet up with him later, if I understand correctly.
Yeah, well, you know, he told me that. I don't want to get into it. It was like a Turning Point USA lobby in that hotel. All right, let me just put it that way. Hey, Chicago Bish says nah is back. What's up, Chicago Bish? She's one of our OG watchers. Chicago Bish says nah is one of my favorite people in this community because her name is amazing to say. Chicago Bish says nah. And when she was on Instagram Live, she said, I'm joining on Twitch so I can experience the maximum. Okay, I got it here. This is good. This is great.
So the second link might be better to look at first, just because that's the inciting incident.
Okay, the second link is better because it's the inciting incident. This is why. So for those of you who are new to Professor Brainrot Studies, Robbie is chronically online, and he keeps me apprised as what people are doing on the internet, and he comes in and shares stuff with the chat because I'm 116 years old. On May 1st, I turn 116. So
I think May 1st might have already passed.
I know. That's why I was 115 before May 1st. Okay. But
you're telling people like you're a Tyler, like I'm this many, but you just got a lot of hands.
Yeah, I got a lot of hands. It was a lot of here we go. So let's we're gonna watch this now. What the hell is this? Okay. Here we go. This is the inciting incident. I don't know how to use the TikTok when it's not on my phone.
Corporate 9 to 5, and you're probably.
Oh wait, here we go. All right.
I cannot believe that the Bay Area reinvented the term ABGs for people who own standing desks and a walking pad. You are not a fucking ABG. You don't have a full beat in sight. You have no gang affiliation at all. You work a corporate 9 to 5, and you're probably an AI startup founder. That's okay. Just be who you are. I cannot believe that the Bay Area reinvented the term ABGs for people who own standing.
Dang. So this is like some strays were shot. Some shots were fired.
Lots of friendly fire.
I don't think that was friendly fire. I think that she recognizes the ops. Our friends in the AI lobby. Now, there are two different types of pack. There's APAC and there's AI pack. Both of them are spelled the same, and it can be tricky. But I always like to remember them by it's hard to remember them. I just take the money. I don't really. It's not my job. Let's see.
As long as the check clears, right?
As long as the check clears, that's right. As long as it says Connie Smith IV, services rendered. Okay, here we go.
Man, they're really putting you through the captchas.
What's that?
They're making you do all sorts of captchas.
I know, it's crazy. They think I'm a bot because I kind of am a bot.
What is the most important thing?
Hey Sam, what is the prompt that changed your life?
What is the most important thing I'm missing about the situation?
Hey Sam, what is the prompt that changed your life?
Classic AI
What is
psychosis.
the most important thing I'm missing about the situation?
What is the situation? Why would the AI know what the situation is? And also, just tell me what the most important thing is. I don't want to know too much about the details.
Listen, I love Sam Altman. I think he's a great guy when it comes to giving money to Democrats that want to build data centers. I think he's a great guy in that respect. I think in some respects, though, he is definitely a sociopath. And I can live with it because I've been living with my wife now for 20 years, and she hasn't killed me yet, literally. But yeah, I think Sam Altman is a deeply problematic individual. And I kind of just want to see what the beat is here. That's a great topic though. The internet. Okay, here we go. It says that their latest AI is an autistic genius. Is the what he's calling his newest AI model.
I feel bad for the autistic community. They keep getting slandered by these Sam Altmans and Elon Musks and like all my autistic homies. They just want to, play their comfort game or maybe do a TCG. They don't want to take over the world and poison our water supply.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen Rahm Emanuel's interview. Where can I watch it? We can watch it right after. I love that. Oh yeah, Rosa DeLauro, Jim Clyburn 2028. That is the way to move forward. Thank you, E-Money. That's a great shout out. Rahm Emanuel's interview. Where can I watch it? Chicago Bish. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it right now with you.
Together.
Why is hang on a second. Why is my little thingy oh there it is. Okay, it's because when I put a little comment there. All right, we're gonna watch the let's watch the Rahm Emanuel interview first. Because we got a request here. Interview. There we go. Look at this. We got to find it. Is it the one from 3 days ago? ISIS become a lawless mob. NPR? The Economist? What are we watching? Chicago Bish say, nah. What's up, Zaza Carr? Thank you for coming in. How Rahm Emanuel is recalibrating on Israel ahead of 2028. Thank you very much. Israel. Let's see here. Israel. Let's see here. How oh, okay, here we go. Now it's 2 months ago. Now there's a 16 years ago interview. Recalibrating on Israel.
He's just been calibrating for a couple years. Only 16.
Well, he's
it's his first time living too.
Recalibrating on Israel 2028. I'm gonna Google it. Here we go. Damn it. Is there no videos of this? All right, we have to figure out. If you pull it up in the chat. Oh, thank you, E-Money.
E-Money always coming in clutch.
He's always coming in clutch. It's a written piece. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, I got it. I can just do this move here. Let me go to removepaywalls.com. Removepaywall.com.
Do they do sponsorships? We should get sponsored.
Consultant's best friend. There we go. So we just went over ABGs and Sam Altman co-opting the ABG cause. We're about to look at a there we go. We got it, I think. Let's see here. Okay. So how Rahm Emanuel is recalibrating on Israel. I'm going to brace myself here because I consider Rahm to be one of the OGs of awesome politics stuff. He is one of the best consultants of my generation. So he's going to be recalibrating. In an interview with Jewish Insider, Emanuel outlines his views amid changing winds in the Democratic Party, increasingly antagonistic to the pro-Israel perspective that had been long central to his identity. Last November, Rahm Emanuel, the tough-talking Democratic operative and prospective presidential candidate, took the stage of the Jewish Federations of North America's annual conference in Washington to deliver a blunt word of warning about Israel's declining reputation in the United States and around the world. What is he talking about? There's nothing wrong with what our allies have done. They accidentally hit 100,000 civilians, but I mean, anybody could have made that mistake. That's why we need to give them more weapons guidance systems. Okay. I don't mean to be the party pooper, but look, this is not party pooper. See, that's why I like Rahm, because he always knows how to lighten a mood, Just committed a G side and he just says he's being a party pooper. I don't want to stop the party, but I think we're gonna have to slow down a little bit here. God, Rom, we should cancel him for being a party pooper. But look, this is not going to be helpful if we're not going to be honest. He said in an ongoing panel, urging the crowd to reckon with the marked downturn in support for the Jewish state. Israel is extremely unpopular, not amongst my friends. I don't know what they're talking about. I was just with Chuck Schumer, and it's never been more popular. I just think the American people are confused. 8% of them support what's going on in Israel. That's plenty.
The American people may be confused, but I don't know if they're confused about that.
Okay, Professor Brainrot. All right, just hug your cat. You know, good luck with the hantavirus.
What?
You spend enough
Wait,
time.
what do you know?
Animals.
What does the hantavirus have to do with Rahm Emanuel? What do you know? What did Chuck tell you?
Well, hantavirus has to do with rats. So
right. So you're saying
cats,
I'm very
cats,
safe
yeah,
against
cats go after them. So then, by the transitive property and your hatred of Benjamin Netanyahu, you're gonna get it.
They're gonna have a Jewish Insider article about you, the Democratic Party problem with Connie.
Yeah, no, they're not gonna have a damn problem with me. I am the Democratic Party. E-Money says Israel is totally tubular. Ram is off his rocker. E-Money says he needs a seafood boil business lunch with Lindsey Graham to set him straight. Stacks Z4P said, wow, lively chat. Yeah, well, Stacks, it's because you're watching on YouTube right now. Maybe if you joined us on Twitch, you would
It is more fun on Twitch. You can send links.
It's not freaking
use emotes.
Yeah. So Emmanuel, veteran Jewish politician and party official who had recently concluded, the reason I love Jewish insiders because they always conflate Zionism with Judaism. Even though 61% of American Jews are against what's happening in Israel. Yeah, you're Jewish, Robbie?
I am. Yeah. It's
one
of the ways that I can Uno reverse all of the Zionist anti-Semitism allegations.
You're an anti-Semite. That's
you gotta go all the way to where Trump calls Chuck Schumer a Palestinian. That's if you want to really have some juice to these allegations, you gotta level up.
Yeah, okay, fine. Jeez Louise. In hindsight, Emmanuel's frankly worded comments. Oh, here we go. This may be the last time I'm asked to speak to you. Inshallah, it will be because Ram is a traitor. He said with a hint of indifference, but we have to be honest about the task we have, who believe that there is something special to the U.S.-Israel relationship. There is something special. I can't think of anybody who I would continue to give weapons to without asking any questions about how they use it, except the Nicaraguan Contras. I was totally okay with them doing crimes against humanity and using the proceeds of illicit drug trades. That was cool with me. So the Nicaraguan Contras, Twitch, where Hassan is the political king. Yes, that's where he is the political king. And that is why we're here, because we're here to dethrone Hassan. Moving on with the article. In hindsight, we have our work cut out, and it's not here to get applause, he told the crowd. In hindsight, Emmanuel's frankly worded comments mark something of a turning point in his approach to Israel and the Jewish community, foreshadowing more recent remarks in which he has voiced harsh criticism of the country's military tactics in the wake of the October 7th terror attacks and championed new policy proposals against American military aid to Israel. Well, not only is it against American military aid to Israel, it's against the defense contractors that make money off of that aid. So I think Ram is going to find himself in an uphill battle if he wants to make the world quake with his centrist dynamo policies, because he's going to need that Raytheon money whether he likes it or not. Yet even as he builds a profile as a potential candidate willing to tell the Democratic Party hard truths and challenge orthodoxy on a range of issues, from trans rights to child social media bans to age limits for politicians, Emmanuel, 66, was reticent in exploring his views on Israel in a more in-depth interview with Jewish Insider, which he had resisted for nearly a month. What I said couldn't have been clearer, he told Jewish Insider last Thursday, referring to his recent comments on Bill Maher, calling for an end. I love Bill Maher. My God, is that talk about a dynamo? That
Talk
guy.
about a nightmare blunt rotation.
I see Bill Maher starting to talk, and I get rock hard. There is nothing about Bill Maher is a man who.
Don't worry, he does too.
Yeah. Well, that's
why it's called Club Random.
That was at Bohemian Grove one time. 1 second.
Anywho, while Connie handles that emergency,
I got my water.
Good, we got water.
Threw it at me. So yeah, we're at the so we're at the Bill Maher portion of the proceedings. There will no longer be U.S. taxpayer subsidies for the purchase of U.S. military equipment. Israel will be like every other ally. They can buy what they want, and they have to live within the restrictions. I hope he doesn't mean the Lakey Act, which is something that says that we can't provide military aid to anybody who's violating international law. I hope he's not referring to the Lakey Act, because if he is referring to that, then I am going to make him in violation of the Lakey Act, because the Lakey Act is like, what's that one thing that, son of a bitch,
you gonna make him quake?
What's the one thing that we don't observe anymore, like politicians? The Hatch Act. The Hatch Act is not an actual law. That's the Lakey Act. The Lakey Act isn't an actual law. You can be committing crimes against humanity and continue to get weapons that you need to commit crimes against humanity. We're not going to enforce that. We don't. It's just not something we do. Okay, you can decide to slice it, dice it, but that's what it is. Wow. Rahm Emanuel, traitor to everything that we believe in as a party. While U.S. military funding to Israel has increasingly faced pushback in the Democratic Party, particularly on the far left, Hassan Piker, you evil bastard, Emanuel's argument that Israel no longer needs the sort of special treatment that he helped promote in the Obama White House has been striking to watch, precisely because he has long been a staunch defender of the Jewish state and its founding ideals. Emanuel, whose middle name is Israel, who speaks fluent Hebrew, holds a uniquely personal connection to the Jewish state. His late father, an Israeli immigrant born in Jerusalem, isn't Jerusalem in Palestine? Oh yeah, never mind. That was close. I hope that okay.
Where's your pal? What were you gonna say there?
Thank you. Listen, Professor Brainrot, don't get cocky just because I know how. Do you see my atlas back there? 1992 atlas. It's got Yugoslavia in there. It's got great countries. This is where I want to bring the Democratic Party. 1992.
You want to balkanize the Democratic Party?
No. Shh, you're smart. You smart guy. You're funny. You're funny.
So I'd call dibs on JB Pritzker. That's my con right there.
Performative left maxing by Rahm, pandering to Rose Twitter. Yeah, he absolutely is. This is a DSA hand job if I've ever seen one.
The best kind.
You've clearly never met Nancy Reagan.
Well, no,
child, he spent summers in Israel and later volunteered as a civilian assistant to the IDF during the Gulf War. His son celebrated his bar mitzvah in Israel. Now, this doesn't sound like this sounds like a guy who's Jewish. It doesn't sound like a Zionist to me, but I mean, never mind. Forget I said that. I'm supposed to conflate the two things. I'm
the conflation insurance right now.
Yeah, thank you. All right. If you or anybody thinks you're going to continue the American taxpayers paying for this, good luck passing that in the U.S. Congress. Have you met Chuck Schumer, Rom? We are totally going to continue to pass this against the American people's wishes. We have been doing it for years. Years we have been doing it. We're going to continue to do it. It's going to piss him off. And Chuck Schumer is not going anywhere because he started taking money from Palantir. And as you know, Brian Johnson and Peter Thiel are working on some really great anti-aging technology. That's how I look this way. It's not just retinol and sunscreen. 115 years old, not a crack on my face. Come on. Professor Brainrot, I won't
say it. I had restraint. I was going to say it, but I didn't say it. I was being respectful.
Thank you for being respectful. You're asking a president of the United States to spend X amount of political capital to do something that even Israel's own prime minister acknowledged isn't going to happen. He said, referring to continued U.S. military aid. The Jewish state has made a decision to only lean on its defense and not lean on its diplomatic front, he said. J.I. I love how he calls the defense, he calls the offense defense. That's how you gaslight people. Because, I mean, when you think about it, Lebanon has not attacked Israel in like 35 years. I think 82 was the last time that there was a, and then they invaded for a really long time. That was when Israel did their Vietnam and Lebanon. But I'm glad that Ram is still characterizing offensive military maneuvers as defense. That means that we can still save him. For those of you just joining in the chat, we're discussing Rahm Emanuel's democratic socialist approach to Israeli policy. He wants to stop aid to Israel. He is a traitor. Every risk you will take, the state of Israel takes for peace, then America will stand with you, he said. We understand there's risk. We have stood by Israel through thick and thin. But, he said, and everything you say before the word but is bullshit, as my dear, dear friend Dick Cheney used to tell me. When one friend in that relationship abandoned something that's contrary to our interest and contrary, in my view, also to Israel's interests, it is reasonable, he suggested, to rethink that alliance. His comments indicate that he is now embracing a fundamental reassessment of the U.S.-Israel alliance, abandoning even the pretense of tough love that once characterized his approach among other moderate voices in the Democratic Party. For example, Josh Shapiro. I love Josh Shapiro. He is the best. Majority Democrat, third way. He was drawing Snoopy cartoons on bombs that were going to be destroying innocent people. I mean, Hamas.
Dilbert would have been better. That's why he wasn't VP nominated. If he did Dilbert, he would have gotten the nom.
Well, the Dilbert guy is a racist. Yeah.
That's why.
He should have done that.
Who was the Kamala campaign trying to get?
That's probably. Can I get an honest take from you guys and ask how is Trump handling the Iran war so far? Stacks, President Trump is running the Iran war like a genius.
Like a business.
He let Bibi Netanyahu in the Situation Room, and so it's really just Bibi's running it. The war is very boring too. I wish we could really just go in there and do what Bibi wants. Okay, so Ram's move tells you a lot about the politics of the Democratic Party on Israel now, a sign of how Israel's image has changed in the country, said Dennis Ross, a former U.S. diplomat and Middle East negotiator who overlapped with Emanuel in the Obama administration. God, look at Ram. Dynamo. Despite a strong attachment to Israel, Emanuel is reckoning with a changing party no longer broadly sympathetic to the pro-Israel perspective. Like I said, clearly he is not hanging out with Schumer and me at cocktail parties, because if he was, you know, and I know that everything would be dynamo. Everything is cool. Very informative. Yeah. Well, you know, Stacks, right now we're reading Chicago Bish Says Nah requested this article, but we will cover the Iran war in 2 minutes once we get through this article. But so keep this is going to be, hang on a second, honest take. We're putting that right there, Stacks, so we don't forget it. All right. Okay, whether it's people chanting, I don't even want to say that. That's horrible. In Charlottesville, or somebody bombing Josh Shapiro's home, or somebody painting Nazi insignia on my fence, or the candidate saying, I did not know that was a blank insignia on my chest, we're going to have to confront this. He's referring to Graham Plattner there, who got drunk and got a tattoo in Croatia. And we have been trying unsuccessfully to make that about him being a kind of Manchurian candidate Yahtzee. It's been really hard to get any narrative traction there because a lot of people see him and listen to him speak and they don't think he's a racist. So I really wish he gave us more to work with when we're trying to slander him. But I get paid by the hour. So if at first you don't succeed, invoice. We're going to have to confront this before announcing his support for Plattner while touting his record of fighting anti-Semitism. Emanuel announced his support for Plattner? What the hell is going on? Rahm Emanuel.
All the cards are playing Platt.
Look at what's happening. Look at what's happening. Do you see the goosebumps? Can you see that, chat? The goosebumps. Rahm Emanuel used to be my friend. He used to be my friend. He worked in the Clinton administration, for God's sakes. Now he's talking about we are clapping like seals for the new UFO documents. Yes, we are, E-Money. You're goddamn right we are. We'll be talking about those, too. Don't worry, Stacks. I've dealt with it when I ran for Congress, he said on the phone from Chicago, also noting that he was outside an Anne Frank exhibition opening in his home city. I've also been upfront when I think a decision is going to lead to the strategic and diplomatic isolation of not only the state of Israel, but more importantly, the Jewish people. Again, this is a very muddled take. You know, he's using the ADL strategy of conflating Judaism and Zionism, but also saying that we're not going to support the Zionists. This is really confusing. I can't tell if he's gone full DSA here or if he's moderating or what. Let's keep reading. Holy crap. Chicago Bish says nah, has some fire articles. Chicago Bish, you still in the chat? Still, Emmanuel seemed reluctant and even somewhat frustrated to answer further questions seeking clarity on the implications of his new approach to Israel and how he arrived at his position. He refused to confirm explicitly, for example, if he would back defensive aid for Israel's Iron Dome missile system, which has recently emerged as the subject of intense debate in some corners of the Democratic Party. Listen, this is not a debate, all right? If we want Israel, what's up? Bish, tell us if we're doing well. Say nah if we're doing bad, though. Listen, listen, the thing about Iron Dome, what people don't understand is that even if we support Iron Dome, that's a good thing. I mean, we'll take it because they can spend that money that we're saving them on defensive weapons and use them for offensive weapons. Also, for the record, there is no such thing as defensive weapons, but this is the kind of mental gymnastics that we are able to do in Congress because most of the people we get elected are idiots. And all of the constituents are completely inflexible. Thank you, Chicago Bish says nah. We're putting that right there for Stacks. It is a significant contrast with where Emmanuel stood during his time as Obama's chief of staff. In the White House from 2009 to 2010, Emmanuel was one of Obama's top consiglieri, that's an Italian word, on policies relating to Israel. He was involved in the initial funding to boost Israel's Iron Dome system, an effort that culminated in a 10-year memorandum of understanding between the two countries that provides $3.8 billion in annual aid through 2028, which the White House at the time is the single largest pledge of military assistance in U.S. history. In 2009, Emmanuel shared more reassuring words in his address to GFNA's gathering, praising Netanyahu while citing his own familial ties to Israel. He had called it a privileged point of view from understanding Jewish state's value as a homeland. Those who have questioned whether the Obama administration's opposition to Israeli settlement in the West Bank and outreach to the Arab world implies diminished support from Israel, that is not the intent. He said, filling in for his boss, it is not the case and it will never be. The truth is the opposite. Only through dialogue will Israel achieve the peace it seeks. Yeah, that's fantastic, Ram, but we're not really interested in peace, are we? We're interested in the military-industrial complex. Stacks is somebody on YouTube, Chicago Bish. He needs to convert to Twitch. Twitch is where it's at. You can do emojis here, according to the Professor Brainrot.
That's true.
Now, Robbie, as a anti-Semitic Jew, do you think that
it's pronounced anti-Zionist, but continue.
Oh, excuse me. I forgot. We're amongst friends here. We don't have to. So, do you think that? Oh, here we go. Emmanuel Netanyahu just called him a self-hating Jew, underscoring the highly personal tenor of their long, testy relationship. Look, I have a long-standing relationship. I'm honest about it. Do you think Rahm Emanuel is being self-hating here?
Unfortunately, he's not being self-hating there. I think, if anything, being a little self-hating would lend him more credence because no one hates themselves more than a fascist. And that defines the Israeli government and a lot of the public life in Israel. So if he were to hate himself more, I think Bibi and him would get along better. I mean, look at Bibi's wife. No one hates himself more than Bibi. So
Yeah, Sarah Netanyahu is a really bad person. She came to my house one time and stole all of our towels.
And the worst part is those were the decorative towels. You're not even supposed to use them, let alone take them.
I know, seriously. Well, and then she came over to my housekeeper and started screaming at her, which is what she does to her housekeepers. And she said, I'm homesick. And I said, okay, well, I got some tea and some stuff that you like. And then she's like, I'm homesick. And then she started screaming at my housekeeper, which was horrible.
And your housekeeper doesn't even know Hebrew.
No, BB's from Philly.
Well, yeah, but come on. They like to zhuzh it up a little bit with the Hebrew when they're in the U.S.
Look at what my ex-wife did to my ties. All of them. All of them. One time with the Pilates instructor. Okay, here we go. What you're doing is going to lead to the great isolation of Israel. Emmanuel recalled noting, as he often does, that Netanyahu called him a self-hating Jew, underscoring the personal tenor of their relationship. But even as he argues that Israel today is a different country from a sense of wealth and capacity, he is strained to harmonize the motives now animating his current approach. He has dismissed speculation over the sincerity of his stance and whether it is rooted in a good faith view of Israel's economic standing, or if instead a more cynical political calculation tailored to a rising anti-Israel faction in the Democratic Party. Oh, I get it. He could be doing this because he wants to run for president. That actually kind of makes me respect him more, to be honest with you.
Really?
I mean, he's not on the inside anymore. He's just kind of, he's trying to get the big title, unlike AOC, who says she doesn't care about titles. She cares about universal health care. All right.
Is there a title you think you could throw AOC's way that would get her to abandon healthcare?
Yeah. How about Professor of Shield of the Americas, like Christine Noem? That's what we're doing with her.
Shield of Americas? What?
Yeah,
I haven't heard this.
Christine Noem got fired from Department.
I heard she got fired, but what's this new Shield?
Oh, yeah, she got hired as the Shield of the Americas.
Who is Shield? Marvel Shield?
Yeah, like Shield, like Marvel.
Oh.
Okay. Though in contrast with high-profile voices on the far left, Emmanuel shied away from charged rhetoric around genocide in Gaza. Thank you, Ram. Thank you for at least keeping that intact, as well as accusations that Israel had tricked President Trump into a war with Iran, which he says ignores U.S. agency in the conflict. I mean, just because Bibi was in the Situation Room doesn't mean anybody got tricked, okay? Hang on a second. Just because Bibi was in the Situation Room, just because Benjamin Netanyahu used to do slumber parties at Jared Kushner's house with his father, that Cory Booker is also very close friends with, does not mean that he had anything to do with leading us into the war in Iran. It had nothing to do with it. I promise you. Pinky swear. Just because he was in the Situation Room, just because Jared Kushner is a dear, close personal friend, and anybody who suggests differently, anybody who calls this war Operation Epstein Fury, you're canceled.
I'm not saying it, but you can't stop me from thinking it.
Well, it's going to be a thought crime pretty soon because the Democrats have been talking to Elon Musk back into the tent.
I jailbroke my brain. I don't have Neuralink anymore.
We're going to deregulate Neuralink. Everybody's going to have it whether they like it or not.
Wait, wouldn't that be a regulation then if it's mandatory?
Yeah, but it's a pro-business regulation, which is not a regulation. That's deregulation.
It's a deregulatory regulation.
It's a deregulatory step to regulate.
This guy,
sure
this is why you're the expert, Connie.
Emmanuel's ally said in recent interviews that they were not surprised with his approach, saying that he's been building to this moment for some time. Do I agree with him? Not necessarily. Representative Steve Israel, who served with Emmanuel in Congress, told JI, but this is not a breakthrough position. He's expressed those concerns for years. Axelrod, Axe, baby, former chief strategist to Obama, likewise agreed in a text message to JI that Ram's basic concerns about where Bibi is leading are not new. Ram, like a lot of us, has always believed in a two-state solution was the only road to peace, and Bibi is not deeply and irretrievably opposed and actively hostile to the notion. One prominent Jewish Democrat who asked to remain anonymous to discuss a charged issue called Emmanuel's stance a practical response that takes the wind out of the sails of the far left and the far right, which have politicized funding for Israel. As long as we're giving aid to Israel, Americans will feel like they have a say in Israeli policy and how that investment is managed. But if that is Emmanuel's aim, he has not made it clear in conversation with JI. He was hesitant to clarify his own positions when pressed. Asked if he would back Iron Dome funding, he said he had been part of the financing for the joint project that he called Key for Israel's Security when it was first developed with the United States. He declined to further elaborate about such aid. U.S. taxpayers should not be in the position of subsidizing a country. You know my history with the Iron Dome. I've answered it. Wow, there is Rom doing Rom. Except he's not doing it for my team. He's doing it for his team, which is the Rahm Emanuel for President team. And how dare he moderate with our greatest allies?
How much Machiavellian moderation could you stomach if, let's say, he gets the presidential nominee, he gets the win in November, but he still fully funds it. He just kind of kvetches a little bit when he does fund the Iron Dome and do all of these bills that Chuck Schumer and you want passed through. Would you be able to handle it? Would your blood pressure be able to tank that?
Yeah, I could take that. I like a good Machiavellian play. I just need him to let me know. I need him to let me know that
you want a spoiler. You don't want to be part of the people who are having the twist thrust upon them.
Yeah, I don't like being rat fucked. I like doing that. Like,
what if it's a surprise? What if you think you're about to get rat fucked, but then surprise, we were actually rat fucking those other people you don't like? Would it have been
I can
worth
live with
the
that.
initial
I mean,
fall?
we just did that to yeah, I mean, we do that to progressive candidates all across the country. That's what we do. I mean, Cory Bush, that was me. You know, that's what political RFing is all about. It's all about flexibility, mobility, and really not having any kind of morality or values that guide your tactical or strategic outcomes. You really just want to get in there and spend a lot of money on attack ads. That's really that's the entire thing. That's my entire business. In fact, one of my dear friends is coming up next, actually. I just spent $5.3 million in Michigan with him to attack Abdul El Sayed on behalf of Haley Stevens. Where is it? Here we go. Brian Romick, president of Democratic Majority for Israel. Thank you, Brian, for that commission when I purchased all that ad space in Michigan. I hope there are enough people that are watching Nick at Night, the Mary Tyler Moore show. Those are going to be some good ads. We're going to get the boomers for Haley Stevens. Israel's situation is not comparable to our other close allies. Unlike Japan, South Korea, and Germany, Israel does not have permanent U.S. troops on the ground. I know, and it's a shame. We could. He told JI, it's also surrounded by enemies who actively want to wipe it off the face of the earth. U.S. security assistance reflects that reality and the significant strategig benefits the aid provides. Michael Makovsky, president and CEO of the Jewish Institute for National Security of America, told JI in a recent interview that he disagreed with Emmanuel, even as he acknowledged the sentiment as a legitimate view. Still, he added that it is in the U.S. interest to continue to provide military aid to Israel, which anyway all goes to buying U.S. weaponry. Hell yeah, brother. That is what I'm talking about, Big Mike. We want to make sure our friends in Israel, our friends at Raytheon, our friends at Lockheed Martin are continuing to get all the missiles they want. ICBMs, the BMs, the ICBs, the CBs, the BMs, all of the beautiful things that you need in order to conduct a yeah, what are you hiding from, brain rot?
And the BMs is what got me.
Yeah, they get me too. They get me too. But different acronyms.
Abbreviations might not mean what you think they mean.
Don't forget
other
the bulldozers. Don't forget the bulldozers. They need to get that love too.
Caterpillar is hitting it from both angles, from the military industrial complex and also the AI hallucinatory fraud. They really a full service corporation right now.
That's why I love them, man. Those guys are vertically integrated. I love that shit, man. They're everywhere. Oh, Caterpillar, one of my faves. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. We're almost done. Okay. Even some pro-Israel Democrats sympathetic to Emmanuel and his perspective said his comments on military aid raised more questions than they answer. One influential Jewish Democrat who has long been acquainted with Emmanuel, speaking on the condition of anonymity, expressed concerns that ending aid to Israel could stoke further calls from the far left to condition military funding or block future weapons sales outright. For his part, Emmanuel avoided commenting on the question of Israel's qualitative military edge, which the U.S. is legally obligated to ensure, but allies say could suffer without military aid. I feel like we're taking the same question from 50 angles. I want Israel to fight for peace the way it's proven that it's fought in the last 3 years. That's what's missing. You ask these questions like somehow I've changed. The prime minister used to articulate a two-state solution. He was for it. He's the one that's changed. There you have it, folks. The end of a beautiful friendship. That is it.
Well, at least Rahm Emanuel's going to save a lot on wine.
Yeah, he's done. He's done. He's out. He is out. All right. I want to watch this story about Sam Altman and Elon Musk. The girlies are fighting, and I'm hoping.
Really?
We got Altman in the party now. We got Altman given to the Democrats. That's what I love to see. Actually, you know what? Before we go into this story, there is a new Alyssa Slotkin, Bill Maher thing, and she went ham last night. Let's see here. I love Bill Maher because he completely forsaked his relationships with people in order to be famous, and now he is incredibly bummed out about the fact he has no meaningful relationships, but he does a really good job of hiding it, you know?
Did he have good relationships before? Or?
No, he never did.
Okay.
He crossed, Bill Maher crossed a path, and he was like, I'm done loving people. Oh, here we go. Mallory McMorrow. Oh, this son of a bitch. Are you ready? Trigger warning. Hassan Pike.
I think we already established. Why are you always in a suit? I'm a suit guy now. This is it. I'm in my suit era. I think we already established that. Part of the reason why I'm in a suit all the time is because, you know, moms and dads are watching. 2 reasons. 1, it makes my head look bigger.
Hassan Piker is coming for the suit crowd now. He's wearing a suit now. Are you freaking kidding me, man? That's our game.
He's going to use a socialist cooperative structure to unionize every Brooks Brothers across the United States.
La, la, la. Did you just say he's going to unionize Brooks Brothers, Robbie? Take that DSA shit and grab a cup of change and go start begging.
Listen.
Unionizing the Brooks Brothers. I knew the Brooks Brothers. We helped do a coup in Central America in the 40s. They were great guys.
Is Florida in Central America?
They hated communists, right. Robbie. They hated communists. They were big backers of the United Fruit Company. Let's listen to what the rest of this freaking fashionista.
Number 2, a lot of conservatives come in here to watch lately to see what's going on. And as a chatter correctly pointed to, wearing a suit, basically like lingerie for old conservative ladies. Yeah, they love that shit.
I do love a man in a suit. I'm not conservative, though. I'm a Democrat. I'm just a conservative.
In their horny moment, they just are a lot more receptive to what I have to say. This is how we spark the revolution, ladies and gentlemen.
Son of a bitch. I hate that word.
This is how we do it.
I hate that freaking word. I was at Woodstock undercover for the FBI. I was trying to,
Woodstock
let's cleanse our palate. We need to get this amuse-bouche. That was the amuse-bouche. Let's get to the main course, baby. Cory Booker. Love this freaking guy. He's in every prom pick with Benjamin Netanyahu. And if you haven't been paying attention at home, Cory Booker's new social media strategy that his 75-year-old consultant, who was one of my apprentices, it has been doing these little social media haikus about hope and stuff. It's awesome. He's really just trying to hijack the Obama playbook, and it's fantastic. Let's see what Cory has.
So many people are hurting. This goes a lot deeper than partisan politics.
Oh yeah, he's so good at pretending to care about people. That's what I love about him. He wanted to be an actor, but he wasn't good enough. But that's why he got into politics.
He upgraded the meta from the fist to the cup.
To the cup. That's right. Yeah, he's doing cup. He's doing cup and
while he's fucking you.
This is Mother's Day, and that word mother is an honorific in the Black community often given to great women of stature. The mothers of the movement, people like Fannie Lou Hamer, beat nearly to death in a Mississippi prison for voting rights. Amelia Boynton, beaten on the Edmund Pettus Bridge marching for voting rights. Ella Baker, Septima Clark. These are extraordinary women who today the Supreme Court has dishonored their legacy and their sacrifices. On this Mother's Day, when so many people are hurting, let us refocus on the urgency. This is not left or
You know, I think it's great that he's invoking the memories of the women of color who sacrificed so much physical health. They did everything they could in their power. And, you know, in honor of their sacrifice, Corey did a 25-hour speech and then a 25-month book tour. But, you know, he understands that you can't, it's not like it used to be. You can't go out there and, you know, you have to confirm Trump nominees. You have to do that. It's part of the business because, you know, the Kushners are friends of Cory Booker. You know, he understands that there is no international solidarity with the Palestinian people, even though Jesse Jackson, when he ran for president in 88, you know, he had the Jackson plank, which was part of giving the Palestinian people more power. So we canceled him. So, you know, I think it's really great that he's disingenuously, you know, he's singing the praises of these civil rights leaders, but at the same time, he's ignoring some of the sacrifices that he's not willing to make any of the sacrifices that they made. And he also is unwilling to talk about, you know, people like Fred Hampton and other people who had solidarity for the Palestinian cause because it's politically inconvenient. I think that's very smart. That is presidential material. Let's keep watching.
right. This is a moment where what will we stand for in America? Ultimately, this nation.
We don't stand for anything. That's why we wrote the book Stand. We didn't, it's not stand for something. That's why Corey wrote the book. It's just stand. You can fill in the blanks. Stand for defense contractors. Stand for APAC. Stand for crypto. Stand for AI. That is why he named the book. I ghost wrote that book, dude. What do you think of Cory Booker? You think he's great, right, Brainrot?
No. Listen, I have nothing wrong with what he's saying per se. I just think that, like you said, with his book tour, he knows not to rush the gestation, whether it be a book or a piece of legislation that will never see the light of day, but it sounds nice when you're on the Senate floor. It is something that always flabbergasts me with Mother's Day. There's so many people who come out and they're spending all this time talking about, you know, oh, mother this, slay that, but we're actually not doing, you know, free childcare. We're not doing free food, free health care for mothers to actually take care of their kids. We just, you know, give them a we're all in this together speech like this and then send them on their way.
You don't think that we're in this together speech is enough?
No, I think it's insulting.
Oh, you think
we're all
insulting?
insulted
Well, you know
yeah.
what? If you had Johnson and if you had Nestle just talking to you about possibly donating to your campaign, then you would also be hesitant to give stuff away for free. You know, that's one of the things that you know, that's like the thing that's happening with the Head Start program, for instance. This was a brilliant thing that J. Edgar Hoover told me. He's like, listen, feeding kids before breakfast is communist. We're not going to do that. That's why the Black Panther Party is gotta go. That's what J. Edgar Hoover told me. And then if you move forward like 40 years, now they have the Head Start program. It's a nationwide program that the Trump administration has defunded because they're evil. But no one ever pays credence to where the Head Start program came from because we knew that we're not going to be electable if we invoked the, you know, we have to be smart about it, you know? There are
The
members of this.
smartest thing you can do is pretend like you invented someone else's great idea.
Exactly. Thank you. It's politics. That's what we do. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? God, thank you, brain rot. Your brain may be saved.
Stands for fairness at the polls, representation, we're a representative government, and most importantly, making sure our democracy in its very most important act of voting is secured. This goes a lot deeper than partisan politics.
I don't want to watch it again. I helped him write it. Yeah, no, I think his Meisner training is doing really well. I think he's really going from Hulk to like kind of like, Mary Tyler Moore and Ordinary People, It's like very like sensitive and
this speaking of sensitive, this frame reminds me of the Kagura Basho meme. Have you seen that?
No, brain rot. What can you send me that?
Well,
in the
let me
thing?
pull up
While you're here, Professor.
Pull up the documents while you finish up this.
All right. Well, we're done with Corey, but I want to. Yeah, can we wait? I do want to see this thing because I do like your weird anime stuff. It keeps me warm at night. What's up, Chicago Bish? Say nah. Can a representative government really be a democracy? Raisin bread basket ball game. Let's see here. Can a representative government really be a democracy? I have often wondered this very question. Really, I think the most important person that's represented in our government are the corporations that employ people. So as long as the corporations, all of the corporation, I'm sure you work for a job, and as long as your company's big enough, they can spend PAC money however they want to. And so I think that you do have a voice in this democracy. Now, I think that the Electoral College is obviously something that was put into place to screw over certain groups of people. But there's nothing that we can do about it as Democrats. There's a lot of things that there's a lot of foundational problems with the United States of America. One of them is the fact that it's a representative government that disproportionately handicaps certain population centers by only giving them 2 senators, the same as in Montana or Wyoming. I mean, really, when you think about it, the Electoral College is the Senate is basically just DEI for flyover states. But as Democrats, we're not prepared to do anything about it because if we get power, it's bad for business, for our corporate donors. You know what I mean? So it's a good question. Thank you for joining us, by the way, Raisin Bread Basket ball game. That's a fun little name. I knew the guy who invented basketball. It was a very interesting day in Georgia.
All right. Thank you for your patience. We now have the ancient texts pulled up. In this thread, you'll see the original post is a woman fondling her breasts. Basically, like with all animes, this is standard plot. She's someone who's a gambling addict, and she is turned on by the act of gambling.
Oh, okay.
You can see there's a million versions, and we even have a Kirk version.
There's Charlie Kirk right there.
Yeah, you found it. Perfect.
It's horrible. It's horrible to see. It's horrible to see that this is what Reddit has become. It was such a good psyop back in the day, and now look at it.
When the talent running the psyop is imprisoned or dead, the project's gonna falter, right?
I guess, yeah. Oh, here we go. Is this the core? Wow, there we go. And look at how it's evolved. Look, that is art, people.
Mm-hmm.
And it does kind of look like. Hang on a second. I see what you're doing here, Professor Brainrot. This is why you're here. This is why you're here because
he's doing. Cory Booker's literally doing the thing.
He's doing it right there. Holy crap! I gotta send this to him. I'm gonna text him 1 second. I'm gonna say.
Are you gonna ask him if he's doing that on purpose? If he's a big anime head?
What is the anime called that you're referencing?
It's called Kakegurui, and I think the meme is called Kakegurui Masho.
Okay, 1 second.
Japanese for something like "I really like gambling." And
Corey, turn on the stream, bro. Check it out. We're gonna go to the. Yeah, you're in. Okay, cool. Look at this thing right here, man. Kakaguri Masho. It's about gambling addict. And then, yeah, this chick's right here. Now, look, it's evolved into something else. Look at this. They Kirkified it. Yeah, okay, now, Corey. Yeah, no cap. Now, chill out. Hang on a second. You were doing it, bro. Yes, this is how you're going to get. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, man. They will totally forget about your support of a G side. If you continue to drop
as long as he keeps showing up with those G cups, right?
Yeah, that's right. You got to make little anime references when you're on the Today Show. That'll do it. Okay, bro. Yeah, love you too. Tell BB I said what's up at that prom photo. Cool. Corey has a new strategy for winning in 2028. Thank you to Professor Brainrot with some really brilliant stuff.
It's a big gamble. We'll see if it pays off for him.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see. Let's see here. Wow, I can't believe it. That is crazy.
Oh, speaking of Kirk.
Oh, there you go. Here we go.
Who are we looking at here?
Ooh. Wow. That's really weird. Yeah. Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh God, no. This is terrifying. Hang on a second.
The country's diaper does need changing. That's something we can all agree on, right?
Who said that? Who said that?
Well, she wants to change AOC wants to change the country, right? Is that actually what she's talking about?
Healthcare's forever.
Let's see what she.
They assume that my ambition is a title or a seat. My ambition is way bigger than that. My ambition is to change this country. Presidents come and go, but single-payer healthcare is forever.
Son of a bitch!
A living wage is forever.
No!
Women's rights are forever. Women's rights. They assume that my ambition is a title.
I hate her. Single-payer healthcare is not going to get United Healthcare what they need on their earnings reports. Boo! I love United Healthcare. They have treated me so well over the years. Chat, don't you love United Healthcare?
I'm pretty sure you were part of that lawsuit for them paying out too many healthcare benefits, right? Is that still in litigation or?
Yeah, well, we were denying the healthcare claims.
But you were mad. As a shareholder, you were mad that after what happened. They were starting to approve too many claims, right?
That's right. Yeah, no, they did get sued. They got their shit sued by the
You're the one suing, right? Or no?
That was the right thing to do. Suing United Healthcare for paying too many claims was the right thing to do. That was the right thing to do. The shareholders have to protect their value. Oh my God. It's the raging James Carville. Let's see what James has to say. Me and him used to drink so much bourbon in the Clinton administration. We used to drink so much bourbon. Me and him used to take Stephanopoulos by his ankles and dunk him in the toilet in the Oval Office. It was so much fun. Let's see what James has to say. Look at that toaster. That's a nice toaster.
Not reform. This is an irredeemably corrupt Supreme Court that cannot be reformed through normal measures. It can only be reformed by adding 4 more members, which is constitutionally permissible to do.
No, I don't think that it's constitutionally permissible, James. Why don't you shut up so we don't have to do anything? The Democrats do not want to pack the courts. The Democrats do not. Period. That is our Democrat is Latin for the word do not. Corporate Democrat. Do not. Ask not. Period.
Do with a legislative majority. It's the only fucking thing you can do with these people.
Why does he sound authentic when he swears? I can't coach that.
Did he swear? I actually missed it.
It is constitutionally permissible to do with a legislative majority. It's the only fucking thing you can do with these people.
Oh.
That's it. They don't talk about Clarence Thomas and Harlan Crow and RVs and tuition and bullshit.
Hey, for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, Harlan Crow and Clarence Thomas and the RV. I bought Clarence Thomas an RV for $150,000. on behalf of Harlan Crow. I was kind of the cutout in that transaction. Harlan gave me the money. I went to the dealer with Clarence, and then Clarence was like, yeah, I want that one. And I was like, we want Citizens United to be passed. And then, boom, it all worked out. Pro-business rulings. It was the best $150,000 anybody ever spent. Now, we're obviously on the opposition of Clarence Thomas. We think he's a very bad man, but I know him because of Harlan Crow, and he's not a bad guy.
I hear Harlan Crow bought the old skin flap that had Graham Plattner's removed tattoo.
Are you tapping my phone again, you freak?
I'm not tapping anything. You just sometimes leave your laptop open, logged in at the public library. What happens after that?
You are ambitious.
To say.
You are ambitious. You're doing Oppo on me? Okay, fine. Let's see what else the Raging Cajun has to say.
I don't know how many federal employees there are. Of course, Trump got rid of. Now they're having this fucking virus because we ain't got the means to deal with the shit because they're so idiotic. They all have to follow some kind of code of ethics. Only 9 people, well, 10 if you count Trump. Well, he wouldn't know ethics from fucking anything else. They do whatever they want, and they don't even and they don't even give you a reason. They hold you in contempt. Alito thinks you're a fool, and you know what? He's got reason to believe that because we have fools in the commentariat that try to tell us this shit is legitimate. So my advice to you, follow the law, but do not, as it pertains to the Supreme Court and decisions that they make. I think they're conscientious federal judges out there. I think they're conscientious appellate court judges out there. Maybe these 3 Democrats on there, they seem to be so fucking ineffective. I don't know whether to whine their ass or scratch their watch, but good luck to you. But we can add 4 more come 2029 and straighten this goddamn corrupt little beehive that we got there masquerading as the Supreme Court. You cannot.
Wow. James Carville. He's also saying we need to become more populist, more pro-labor. I don't know what happened to this guy. He changed. He used to be freaking cool, man. But now, I mean, Robbie, you're a professor of brain rot studies, so you probably love all that shit because you're a DSA socialist. You're a Sharia Marxist, right?
In so many words.
Yeah, you're
But I think he doesn't go far enough. That's the issue.
Excuse
we should
me?
just take the entire Supreme Court, impeach anyone who doesn't take the Shahada, and then pack it to be 18 so that not only is it no longer an odd number, but it's also part of numerology. So we're going to have a lot more instances of divine intervention within the court. I'm tired of all of these government officials, these big wigs saying that we don't have any need for ritualistic numerology or any of the scryers divining the fates in our policymaking. It's ridiculous.
That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. And you once told me that you wanted universal health care. That is tied for the stupid
I've told you that more than once.
You should go hang out with Carville. It looks like his brain is pickled. He's saying all this shit, but he knows that somebody in 2028 is going to have to try and do it, right? And I mean, it's going to look bad if we don't do it. And I think people have finally had enough of Democrats not doing enough. So we may have to do something drastic, like make ICE do COVID vaccinations, or make, we should abolish taxes for billionaires. That's one thing I've been trying to do with the Democratic Party, and trying to sneak that in. That's something I think we can do. But James is talking about stuff that's really gonna ruffle a lot of feathers. I don't like it. Jesus, what are you talking about? This guy, Tallarico, wants to do paid family leave. Does he know how much that's going to cost?
Not a lot. It's actually super cheap.
Yeah. Well, how much do you think it's going to cost the corporations that give me money?
I think it'll actually make the corporations more money because people will be able to work there. Oh, wow.
Oh, this guy I hate.
That's Gore. That's Gore of my comfort character right there.
he was making jokes about how the Democrats are too old. This Ken Klippenstein fella. But he's making fun of Trump decomposing at the ripe young age of 79. He's just
hiding a zombie bite, or
that is a good. I have no idea what that is. That is terrifying, really.
I've seen some crazy hickeys in my day, but
I don't think that
it's got a face. It's like looking back at me.
I don't think Melania's touching him. So don't worry about it. Washington is turning on Biden as 69% of Democrats say he's too old to run. Some people's brains so cooked by party loyalty they can't even imagine someone who isn't a hack. Yeah, well, James, good thing that I've done a lot of the cooking, because all I know is that if you are under the age of 70, then you should be in our unpaid intern program. That's what I told David Hogg on Twitter recently. I said, if you want to change the Democratic Party, young man, come back to us in 20 years. Then do our unpaid internship. Then do that for 30 years. And then when you're 70, you can be a freshman senator freshman congressman. And then once you've done Congress for 5 to 10 years, we can get you in the Senate for 30. At 110, you retire. We'll take care of you. We're going to help you usher you to the pearly gates. That's the way of the Democratic Party people. Oh, geez. There we go. Whoa. Holy cow.
Everything reminds you of him, doesn't it?
No. Oh, here we go. Did you see oh, great. This is my favorite person right here on the right. She's great. She is
so you seem to think that
liberal. She's amazing. This is one of Hassan's friends here on the left, Brianna.
The solution to this is to like for if the Democrats pivot to the far left, that there's this like available
the far
voter
left
base. Well, by
is
Democratic
not supporting
Party
a
standards,
genocide as
by
far
Democratic,
left.
by Democratic Party standards.
Well,
I
isn't
mean,
that quite the admission?
Whoa. Did she just say the G word?
Well,
isn't that quite the admission that we have a far right Democratic Party if something like ending a genocide is considered to be far left?
Well, I don't think necessarily that particular issue, but you've said so
Medicare for all, raising the minimum wage.
Yeah, those are both very far left issues. They're wildly unpopular amongst the Americans.
Yeah, I mean, they only have like 72 to 85% approval in either case.
Yeah, exactly. The reason why we lose isn't because we don't want to pass these two policies. It's because we haven't claimed alpha energy, like Alyssa Slotkin said to do. That's the reason why we're losing. And people believe us, so we're going to keep saying that over and over again.
I don't know. To be clear, I don't necessarily think any of that is far left, right? But like,
it's populist. It's centrist politics.
But your position seems to be that like there's this sort of like available untapped voter base that will manifest if the Democrats, run on these issues. But why doesn't that voter base manifest in the primaries? I guess.
Well, to be fair, because we shut them down. We tell that voter base that they're
all voters don't show up in the primaries.
No
Every
voter.
time I go to the primary vote to vote illegally for someone who doesn't even live in my district, usually Hassan, it's always empty. There's like 2 people, and one of the people is the election judge.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing that
that's one of your greatest works. Really shutting down, not letting people know that the primaries are happening, making sure that the primaries are always in a weird part of the week and no one has off.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do. We shut them down. That's the Counterpoints girl, who's the moderate.
It's funny that you call her Counterpoints because she's your favorite ContraPoint.
Contra. That's whatever. Before. I'm a malapropism. That's what my third wife called me. She's the ContraPoints moderate. The reason why people don't show up in primaries is because we spend a buttload of money on attack ads so we can keep them on the couch. That is a dangerous thing. You do not want primaries to be. We don't like primaries in the establishment. It's not our thing. Let's keep watching.
Is my question.
Well, you
In 2016
refuse to acknowledge the
2020.
riggedness of the primaries.
Yeah.
You
Well, see,
refuse to. So I don't know what
that
to
is her
tell you.
position.
Because she's a good soldier. She knows that the primaries being rigged is good for her too, because she gets access to a lot of centrist dynamos. Dynamo.
That the primaries are rigged, but I just
Well, it's
feel
not
that
my
you're-
position.
I
It's
feel
the people who
arguments-
rigged the primaries position. They were openly admitting it at this point, Natalie.
I feel the
Damn
argument
right
that
we
the
are.
primaries are rigged is like, I feel like the evidence does not rise to a level where I feel like rigged is an appropriate description for what happened.
Well,
All right. Highly influenced by your favorite consultants, aka this guy. We drop Oppo. We have majority Democrats. Lever News article, fantastic article that described the web of different tomfoolery me and my friends have been using to make sure that progressive populist candidates stay the heck out of the establishment. We do not want them in the Senate cafeteria. Let's keep watching.
how would you like? I frankly, I use the phrase finger on the scale when I first brought this up in our
big finger with like 25 pounds of weight on it.
conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, so I don't need to use the term. I mean, if
Right.
that is just a semantic issue,
so,
then we don't
like,
have to use that word.
Like, okay, so like again, to go back to 2020, like, okay, so there's a sort of minor conspiracy of like of center left candidates dropping out so that Joe Biden gets all of the voters available to that. That strategy simply would not work if
My phone bill that month was insane.
the more progressive candidate Bernie Sanders had.
Boo.
If there were just simply more voters for the progressive candidate than there were for the center left candidate, but that turned out not to be the case.
Yeah, I think, there's a few things that happen. As you are aware, many fewer people vote in primaries than in general elections, and it tends to be more plugged in conventional media, mainstream media watching folks who are tuned into their MSNBC every day. And exactly the people who are getting the overwhelming message that someone like Bernie Sanders is not electable, which we know not to be true.
But this is,
Oh, no, I think she misspoke there. We know that's true. Bernie Sanders is not electable. He's not electable if you like money. And I love money. And my clients love money. Okay? He's not electable if you love AI data centers. He's not electable if you love crypto guys like Winklevoss twins, who are going to be doing an Eiffel Tower at the DNC, the Winklevoss twins. The Eiffel Tower as in building a beautiful structure to commemorate the wedding of democratic politics between two titans of industry that love the crypto industry. Brain rot.
I'm just still trying to process the excellent debate strategy put on by ContraPoints, where she'll bring up a point. Brianna will then immediately say, all right, we'll talk about it in that context. She's like, well, I'm not trying to talk about it just for that. Not just, it's like a Tai Chi, capoeira, jujitsu, like using your own rhetorical momentum against the enemy.
That's what we do all the time. We filibuster. It makes us look weak, but we don't have to say anything, which makes us look strong to the people who tell us that we're strong.
Yeah, maybe if she was at a dais or had a little gavel, she would seem a little stronger in this. But right now, it's not really selling me.
All right, well, that's maybe she should run for Senate. I think she's got what it takes. Here we go.
In terms of the head-to-head polls
this
with
is
Trump.
a problem that ought to be solvable by generating energy to vote for more progressive candidates and primaries,
Okay,
right?
now we're talking about the same thing.
If it's like Kamala Harris's fault that she lost in 2024, then isn't it also kind of Bernie Sanders' fault that he lost in 2020?
What do you mean? How do you mean?
Well, by failing to generate the energy or to
Well, yes, but here's the problem. Here's the problem.
Campaign in South Carolina or whatever we think is the condition that.
Well, we rigged the primary so that it would be in South Carolina first because we knew Jim Clyburn could pick up the phone and call in the votes we needed, which he did.
Right.
He was solid. So, I think that Brianna here, if she really wanted to drive this point home, she would have said, yeah, well, they put the primary in South Carolina first because the Democratic establishment knew it was the only way that Biden could possibly win the primary. And that's what we did, dude. We made like 3 phone calls. It took like a half hour.
Yeah. It also took less time for Barry Obama to call everyone else up and tell them to drop out. It took almost no time to do any of the calls that were required for Kamala to become the actual nominee after Uncle Joe got a little too sleepy on stage.
Don't ever
despite
say that.
her, despite Kamala getting out of the primaries first out of everyone. Even Mayor Pete beat her. So,
well,
like,
listen, the
we're
primary.
comparing apples to oranges. We've got a general election versus a primary election with Kamala versus Bernie.
Yeah, well, yeah. Shit. I hate the internet. You all know too much now. Oh, you're back. What's up, Chicago Bish says nah. Happy Mother's Day, Chicago Bish says nah. Happy Mother's Day to Chicago Bish says nah and all the other people in the chat.
Bernie would have to meet to win.
The problem of how to overcome the media, and I don't want to overstate, I really want to say like $70 million worth of earned media that came out of Biden's South Carolina win. Like Bernie fundraised everybody in the race, but there's only so much you can do about the entire media infrastructure, hailing Joe Biden as the king of the blacks and the ultimate winner of the election after winning one southern state that's a red state that actually has no bearing on the outcome of the general election, right?
That, my friends, is how you rig a primary. You don't even have, you just got to put it in the right place. That's why we got Jim Clyburn to do it in South Carolina, because we knew that Bernie was going to destroy us. It is Mother's Day. So today we usually go for 2 hours, but I do have a mother. We're going to be doing a seance to communicate with her, see how she's holding up in upstairs with Eleanor Roosevelt and some of her other friends. She's making fun of Eleanor Roosevelt for being a socialist, rightfully. I love my mom like that. Professor Brainrot, thank you for coming on stream today. We had so much fun with you.
It's always a blast.
You are a freaking legend. Why are you not on stream with us ever? You got to come on more often.
I gotta stop having all of my lectures be scheduled during the workday. You
don't have lectures. You were in the Palestinian encampment. You got fired.
That's where I do my lectures. That's where my best work is.
Yeah, that's right. You freaking DSA Rose types. Okay, fine. You go ahead and it's Sunday, so I know that you're going to be building a monument to Marx and Zoran and ruining our electability in the third way. For everybody who's joined us, okay, I'll check. I'm sorry about your mother. Chicago Bish says, nah, I'll check on.
Thank you.
Tell my mother to send her regards on her way to troll to troll Eleanor Roosevelt. She's gonna troll her. I love the chat. I love the centrists. I love the moderates. I love the corporate wing of the Democratic Party. And inshallah, we will defeat Hassan Piker in his own medium. He has something like 32,000 viewers. I think we had like 10 the whole time today, which is amazing because just last week, we only had 2. Now we are up to 6.
Yep.
And if you like centrist news, be sure to tell your friends. We really want to get rid of all of the popular policies and popular politicians. And we talk about other stuff too, like anime. It's fun. Professor Brainrot is here for that very reason. Thank you all for tuning in. We love you. Don't ever take a point of view. That's all I can tell you.
Don't do it.
Ciao.
Bye.